There's a channel on YouTube named Horror Bowser. They've only ever made 2 videos, last uploaded 9 months ago. It's a retelling of the original Mario Creepypasta. A man, represented by a black and white Mario, kills a woman. These 2 videos serving as glorified taunts to authorities. I love the way it portrays the killer, this almost rotoscoped creature with an unmoving face. You see the buildup, you see the action, you see the aftermath. You don't know why this happened. You don't know why these videos exist. They just do. It gives you the bare minimum, and then takes off. Sonic.exe is awful. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's a bad story. The plot makes no sense, the premise is rather stupid, and the payoff is not worth reading through the slog. I'll never be able to understand why this idea resonated with so many people. Maybe it was because the audience were children. Maybe it was neurodivergence. Maybe all of the above. Regardless, it was popular. With how abysmal the original story was, and with newfound inspiration, people would make an absurd amount of fan-made content. One of those projects would be an unofficial sequel to the story, titled Sally.exe. It was rather unique. Not good, but unique. But there was something off about it. It jumped from idea to idea. There wasn't a through line. Sonic.exe featured characters walking to the right until death. Sally.exe went from a special stage to a runway of speed boxes to an environment slowly closing in on all sides. It was incoherent, because it was far from original. Every idea used in this story was from another story, one by a creator on YouTube, one made a year before Sonic.exe, one that serves as my favorite horror project surrounding the blue blur. Sonic by CHINELIN. The video begins on the title screen. This image is taken from a pirated copy of Speedy Gonzales for the SNES, titled Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Past the menu, a level card appears. Not special, Act 0. You can see where Sally.exe got its inspiration from. Sonic is dropped into a small flat area. The ground is the same as Green Hill Zone, but the sky is black. There's nothing here but a gray special ring. With no other option, Sonic enters. This is a very poor excuse for a bonus round. After bouncing around a bit, Sonic jumps off. The game then crashes. Suddenly, it begins to load. Next level, Act 1, no title. The ground appears to be from either Scrap Brain Zone or Final Zone, the background in the form of outer space. We're somewhere out of orbit. In front of Sonic is a TV box containing a speed boost. Sonic ducks down, begins a spin dash, and breaks through the TV. Before... There really isn't much he could have done to stop this outcome. It seems like he's doomed to die no matter what he tries. The screen begins to melt, before abruptly cutting to a loading screen. Go back, Act 9. We're in hell. Somber music plays as Sonic attempts to escape. He's unsuccessful. Slowly, the walls begin to close around him, before... End. Act 1. We're in another empty plane, the background resembling a Rorschach test. An entity appears on the right, an unkillable creature. Sonic attempts to spin dash into it, which... doesn't go well. The last thing we see is this. Sonic has died. And the video ends. I understand my disdain for Sonic.exe looks very hypocritical when this is the thing I'm trying to tell you is the scariest thing that made me kill myself, but there's a reason why. The video itself is very low quality. It's a product of its time, but that doesn't mean time made it presentable. There really isn't a plot to follow. Things just happen. Sonic dies, then dies again, then dies some more, then encounters man-made horrors beyond my comprehension, and then dies once more. But I find it incredible that this video was made when it was. This was the first time in public memory that someone attempted to make something scary about a Sonic game. The difference between this and Sonic.exe, and if you want to go even further, El Pendrive Azul, is that only one is playable. This video exists solely as a video. There is no game. There is no supplementary material. What you see is what you get. There is one specific part of this video that makes me adore this concept, an idea that leaves me infatuated with what little there is. End Act 1. The Creature. This sprite comes from the Game Boy Advance game Mother 3, the ultimate chimera, created through gene splicing an insurmountable number of creatures, designed to be an invincible killing machine. How it functions within the video is pretty much identical. It can't be hurt and kills Sonic. There's nothing else to it. At least to the naked eye. I like to believe the Chimera is a placeholder for something else, something that can't be visualized, an unknowable threat that exists solely to fuck with and kill Sonic. It's something that you will never come to understand within your lifespan. You will never see what lies behind the sensor, because you're not meant to. The reason why I like Sonic, or how I will be referring to it for the rest of the video, CHINELIN, but hate Sonic.exe, is because one reminds me of why I like creepypastas, and the other is my direct issue. Creepypastas work best when they don't explain everything. You're given the base essentials, but you never learn why or how things happen. You just know they do. You don't know why this game exists, you don't know what its purpose is, where it was found, what it means, or what the Chimera is supposed to represent. And you won't, because you're not supposed to. And that's why I love this video. But, unfortunately, it's gone. The original upload is gone. Re-uploads exist, but you will never find the original link, because CHINELIN's channel is gone. Eventually though, they would come back, and in 2023, they would make a remake of this video. Sonic 0. The video begins the same as before. Same menu, same source, just a bit more compressed. Past the menu, we enter the first level, Deep Hubris Zone, Act 1. The same idea as before, black background, green hill zone assets. But things are slightly different. Instead of a special ring, there's a spring. Instead of a pitch black background, it seems to resemble space, or stars of some sort. Sonic attempts to leave to no avail. With no other option, he jumps on the spring. Somehow, Sonic clipped through the floor, and with no death plane, it seems as if he's doomed to the expanse of space for all eternity. The game begins to load into the next level, Great Entropy Zone, Act 1. The environment is very similar to the previous. We're still in the same sort of plane. However, the ground is more decrepit. It's a gray color. almost as if it's dead or dying. The lush green is nowhere to be seen. After running for a bit, Sonic encounters himself, albeit corrupted. Sonic decides to jump on the spray, which causes the game to distort. Another loading screen begins, more distorted, mimicking the environment we were just in. Next level. Without you. No act. We're in Green Hill Zone, but our sprite is nowhere to be seen. Somber background music plays as the screen slowly scrolls to the right, animals running to and fro. It's not a sound of defeat or victory. It's melancholic in a way I cannot describe. Eventually, the floor gives way to a large hole before a scene begins to play. No title card. Act 0.
Welcome, dear friend. You are quite far away from home. Do not bother running. Every star died out long ago. Now it is just you and me. Your world and friends are gone. But so are your foes. I hope you know well. Not even gods last forever. There are no evils to fight. There is no reason to persist. Even now, your time runs short. Yet you still struggle. Lay down and sleep. Lay down and sleep.
Sonic 0 is an odd case where there really isn't much room for interpretation. At least I think so. I feel like it's obvious what the video is trying to show. Personally, I feel like this is a case of suicidal ideation, of believing you would be better off dead and going through with it. Deep hubris reads like a snide remark to me. Whoever Sonic is supposed to represent does not in fact have a great hubris. He's upset. He's self-conscious about his place in the world. The scene ends with him clipping through the floor, lost in space. Both literally and metaphorically, he is spiraling deeper into his own psyche. Great entropy is a reference to entropy itself, a way of measuring the disorder and chaos of life. Eventually, everything erodes into entropy. Reality, the things you love, yourself. I believe this scene is a version of watching your life flash before your eyes, but in reverse. Sonic is both dead, watching his life unfold, and watching his own death. He pulls the trigger by jumping on his own sprite. Him and him alone are the only reason he's dead. And after stomping out his own corpse, reality begins to collapse. He's made it to the end of his life. There's nothing left. So eventually the chaos catches up to him, to drag him down to where he belongs. Without You is how the person portrayed by Sonic felt like in the moment he took his own life. It shows exactly how he died. In a moment of weakness, he jumped off a cliff to his death, and the world remained without you. The ending is more ambiguous. I like to believe the entity speaking is a personification of death, the being that brings those to the afterlife. Instead of being a chimera that feeds endlessly upon the blue blur, it's a benevolent being. It simply states that Sonic is dead. His world is gone. In death, he is the only one that remains. Everyone dies in the end, even gods. There's no use fighting it. Lay down and sleep. Let me take you to where you belong. Your life is over. Take your rest. Instead of being a creature that's brutalized 4 times over, it's a more mental form of torment. Sonic is not being physically hurt, but his own mind is his worst enemy. His death did not come at the hands of incomprehensible threats. It came in the form of his own mental health. Sonic 0, just like the original video, is gone. CHINELIN came back, uploaded a remake, then left again, taking the video with him. Re-uploads do exist, but once again, the original upload is gone. I like this video for what it tries to say, but I can't help but gravitate towards the original more. There is more here, but I can interpret what's here very easily. When you have a clear answer, that act of discovery is but non-existent. There is no need to manifest an abstract meaning when you have one in front of you. But when the opposite is true, this can lead to fun results. There's a project I used to follow called Zygo Helium. Most of it is gone, and it's been gone for a while now. The only piece you can realistically find without the use of a Wayback Machine is a website, zygo777.straw.page. The site's visual identity is wonderful. It moves and contorts in unnatural ways. It makes the site feel like a living entity. Most of the links are private now. It's a shell of what it used to be. But what is still here is something wonderful. It feels like virtual archaeology, digging through the bones of an abandoned project, left to wonder why it is the way it is. There is no clear answer for you, and there won't be. You were too late to know the truth. But that doesn't really matter, does it? You have a brain, no? You can come to your own conclusion with what little you have found. You might not get the answer, but there's no one to tell you your answer isn't the right one. And this process applies to CHINELIN. By its nature, these 2 videos don't have a direct plot to follow. Things just happen. There are breadcrumbs of a story in at least one of these projects, but it's not enough to be fulfilling. There isn't a point, and even if there is, you won't know its point, because the channel's gone. You are left to wonder why these videos exist. You are left to create the narrative yourself. The source material is rather bad, silly even, but you are able to use it as the basis for your own writing. A story works best when you are in control of the outcome. It gives you what you need, but lets you decide what you want. Do you want a boring ending? Do you really want to know everything that happens? You don't. And even if you do, you don't. Similar to Petscop. I'm not that big on ARGs, or on fiction projects, or internet horror projects in general. A lot of them just don't do it for me for one reason or another. But Petscop is still something I love, because of how it goes about telling its story. Petscop is vague. The timeline of events is skewed because by the time Paul starts Petscop to the time it ends, we don't know when it takes place. Everything else has dates, but Paul's playthrough starts in 2017 and stays in a theoretical time loop with no end. It's vague in a way that makes sense. There's no creature haunting the game. It's like finding an old SD card filled with home movies. There's no date on anything. You can get hints around as you watch where you can piece together things within certain periods of time, but you will never get the full picture. Petscop as a game is odd. It doesn't exist, but it's the closest project to feel like it does exist. Petscop doesn't give me the sense it isn't real because the videos function the same as old YouTube Let's Plays did. Paul speaks about his family history as if it's common knowledge. You can't get parasocial with him because you are constantly reminded you are not a part of this the second you begin to feel comfortable. Petscop is a window to nothing because you're not meant to know what's inside. You are looking in on a narrative you cannot begin to understand. CHINELIN is Schrodinger's Petscop. These two projects are very similar once it gets down to brass tacks. Both are fake games that both do and do not exist. You only know it's one or the other once you are told directly. When stuck with your own thoughts, it becomes a paradox with no conclusion. Because if it's a real game, then it is a game. But if it's made with a program like Unity, it's not a game. But it's still playable, so it is a game. Even if it's made with video editing software, it resembles a game, so it is a game. But it's not playable, so it's not a game. You will know what it is if the author tells you directly. But the creator of Sonic 0 is gone. You won't know. So for all intents and purposes, CHINELIN both is and isn't a game. If it is a game, why was it made? Where was it found? What is its purpose? And if it isn't, the same still applies. What is the author trying to tell you?
Roko's basilisk is a thought experiment which states that there could be an artificial superintelligence in the future that, while otherwise benevolent, would punish anyone who knew of its potential existence but did not directly contribute to its advancement or development, in order to incentivize said advancement.
This is verbatim the first paragraph of its Wikipedia. Thought it would be best for you to hear it directly from the horse's mouth. CHINELIN is the basilisk. It's a creation that begs those with a listening ear to engage with the work. And once you do, once you have thoroughly viewed the material, it hooks onto you. It sinks its teeth into your mind. It takes place in your subconscious. It stops being a video dated by the wear of time and becomes a concept you cannot stop thinking about. You are obligated to add to the idea, lest your brain erodes into entropy. When it comes to a project with little to no story, it's up to the following the media gains to create the narrative. When there is no base to go off of, it lets people run rampant. There's two main ideas associated with CHINELIN, the chimera and the act of an infinite death loop. Sonic 0 is also there, but people have gravitated towards the original. That's not to say the remake is bad, I think it's beautiful, but there's just more to work with. You can make a story with what is in Sonic 0, but creativity is the only way to go for the previous. The most popular interpretation of CHINELIN goes a little something like this. The chimera is a creature that functions on instinct. It needs to feast. It needs to live. Sonic is the main source of fuel for this creature. Every time he dies, he comes back. He's a source of food for as long as he remains viable. The bird on its head works with the monster in a symbiotic relationship. It signals the arrival and location of Sonic, so the creature may find and kill him. Both get to feast, but only one needs to do the work. Sonic is stuck in an infinite cycle of death and hunger. He doesn't know why this is happening. He doesn't know when it will end. He just knows his death will come. I know calling it the basilisk is outlandish, but I don't have anything else to compare it to. I'd say something about the King in Yellow or whatever, but I haven't read the book and I don't want to say something without any actual knowledge and risk sounding like a retard. The chimera is a creature. The basilisk is a creature. If the chimera doesn't have a concrete image, I might as well call it something that fits its nature. And that something is Roko's basilisk. Obviously, nothing will come if you don't add to it. It's a shitty YouTube video using pre-made assets. But there's something unique about it. Something that isn't really there, that makes those with a listening ear want to expand on the idea. Not one creation is the truth, but the fact there is no correct design is its design. It's a cosmic being that is birthed from your mind. It's a cognitohazard. Once you know what it is, you won't stop knowing. And once you know, the people around you will know, and they won't forget. And those people will tell others, and those others will continue the chain. Everyone has their own idea of what is true, and no one knows what is correct. The basilisk can take any form the human mind can create. It can be something based in reality, resembling something from Sonic's source material. It could be exactly as it's shown in the video, the Mother 3 Chimera, or it could be something entirely different. But you won't know. No one will know. They just know they need to add to the collective. Works like CHINELIN live and die by the community that cultivates it. The source material has nothing for you, but people apply meaning to it, intentionally or not. A large reason why this phenomenon happens, at least to me, is the fear of the unknown. You don't know what lies in shadows, and because your mind draws a blank, it begins to scribble over the canvas, creating what does not exist. Your mind attempts to conjure what will happen, because there's nothing for your eyes. You don't need to be etched in dark to fear what you cannot see. You could know what you're looking at, but still live in fear, because you don't know why it is the way it is, and it lets your mind wander. CHINELIN is the fear of the unknown personified. It's a video with no purpose. Its purpose is defined by the people that give it purpose, because they don't know what it's supposed to be. They don't know why it is the way it is. They don't know why it exists. They're blind to the buildup. They see the action, but the aftermath does not exist. It's the outline of an idea. Group consciousness has filled in the cracks.